Do you want to support me while also getting some cool WWE swag? Well, now you can, because I am an affiliate of WWEshop.com. Just head to the link in the description of this video, click that little bad boy, and it will bring up WWE Shop. Purchase as normal, whether it's shirts, whether it's championship titles, whether it's memorabilia, anything you want on WWE Shop, as long as you use my link, because doing so will give me a commission off your purchase. Therefore, you can support me and rep the WWE's latest swag all throughout their shop. So just head to the link in the description of this video, purchase as normal, and you're also supporting me.
We're away again. I got in first that time.
Yeah.
Last week we fought over who was away first, and this time
We have. I feel like, I don't know why, when I was watching that countdown, I know everyone can't see the countdown except us, it's a countdown to start recording, but did that seem off center? Usually the countdown's like right in the middle, and it was like right over your face.
was it?
On the
It was
recording.
in the middle of mine.
Maybe just it was just on the okay. Never mind then, it was just on my screen, I guess.
I was like, I
Whatever.
don't know. Maybe I'm sitting off center, so it looks center. I don't know, but no, it was in the middle.
It was like right in the middle of your face, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay. Anyway, whatever.
yeah. How's your week been? How's your weekend?
What did I do on the weekend? I'm trying to
You
think
had
of what
the
I did on the weekend.
21st.
Oh, I did go out to a 21st. I had a few drinks, and I basically spent the night at the pub on the pokies, which is just, that's showing my age a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't even want to sit at the bar. Me and my friend just went and we had $50 and we just went around and we ended up with 70 at the end of the night. So, I mean, we made $20.
Yeah, $20.
I mean, it's nothing crazy, but we didn't lose any money, so that's good. But we spent hours on that thing, and I was just smashing Bilsons all night.
Yeah, perfect. It wasn't Ben, was it? Yeah, our dear friend Ben.
No.
'Cause he loves the pokies.
He does love a pokies. I hope to see Ben. I'm in Adelaide on the weekend, my friends. I'm in the city for my work Christmas show. So I'll be hitting Hindley Street, as one would say in Adelaide, right? All the Adelaide people will be like, oh, Hindley Street. But if people are watching this from other parts of Australia or the rest of the world, they're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It's like Adelaide's only street that has anything in it.
I feel like most cities have that street. It's just called something different. They've all...
No, but I mean, like, I feel like other cities have, like, multiple streets.
Yeah, but there's always one main one. Like, New York's got Broadway. And...
Sure.
Nashville's got Broadway.
Listen. It's very bold of you to compare Broadway to fucking...
Yeah, no, but that's...
Hindley Street.
No, it's that one street where lots of stuff happens. And they're pretty much the same thing. They're not the same thing at all. I can't even lie about that at all.
Hindley Street. I'm going to the wool shed, though, and that's another sentence that everyone's going to be like, what the hell does that mean? But Ray knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You always get a little messy at the wool shed.
Yeah, my rule in life is nothing good happens at the wool shed after 1 a.m.
It's true. A lot of, like, I will say, while I get along with those kind of people, there's a lot of, like, mums that hang around at the wool shed. That second floor of the wool shed where a lot of just, like, generic kind of pop music plays, which isn't a knock on anything, but, like, it's a lot of, like, mums out on a little fun night with their friends.
Yeah.
Kids are away, like... and it's listen, it's a vibe to a certain degree. You're like, okay, I can understand why this is fun. But there gets to a certain point of the night of the wool shed where you're like, I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
Because they just keep going, and it's like they just don't run out of energy.
No, they don't.
It's an interesting time at the wool shed. But yeah, I'll be at the wool shed this weekend. So I know you guys are hearing this on Friday. So if you see me at the wool shed drunk off my face, no, you didn't. Okay? No, you didn't. Don't come near me. Well, actually, no, you probably could when I'm drinking, because I'll probably give you a nice old hug. And I'll be like, yeah, act like you're my best friend. But no, you didn't. You didn't see me. But you will not see me anywhere else. You won't see me at, like, Red Square or anything like that. Yuck.
Gross. It's
Yuck.
the mechanical bull or nothing.
Oh, I love that mechanical bull so much. And you think you're doing so well on the thing, but you last about like 3 seconds. Isn't that a sentence? But you're
We've all
like,
been there.
you're just like, one pump chump, let's go. But you know, you think you're doing so well, and you're like, I did great, and then everyone's like, no, you fucking didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a good time.
It's a great time. The last time I went to the wool shed, though, it was sit down to drink, because remember how COVID only got you if you stood up?
Yes.
Yeah, COVID only...
That made sense, didn't it?
COVID only got you if you stood up, so you had to sit down and drink. So that was a little bit different of a vibe.
That would have been weird.
It was. But that was the night that me and my... it was the night that me and my friends got matching tattoos. That was the last time I've been there.
Great, here we go again. Here we fucking go again.
Nah, we haven't talked about that again.
Good. I'm glad. My influence is wearing off on you then.
It was... I did bring it up on the project on Monday night, though, and we're having the end of year... we're having our end of year breakup here at my place. And I said, would anyone let me tattoo them if I get the tattoo gun? And we get Sophie, who from the project, I know you know Sophie, great.
I love Sophie.
Lovely person, great person.
Kindest soul. One of the kindest souls.
I always feel bad when I'm around Sophie because I feel like I'm breaking
because she's
her.
just like, she's almost like just just better than us.
Exactly. I always feel like everything I say tries to break her. But she's way too nice. But she had it to Solid Designs. Is great at designing stuff. So I was like,
she is.
If Sophie designs it, I'll try my hand at tattooing everyone if anyone's keen.
Oh my fucking God. God almighty.
No one was keen.
No, I wonder why, Ray. I wonder why. I was watching a little, so we're obviously recording this on a Wednesday like we majority of the time do. I was watching a little clip from the Crojet that I seen popping around on Twitter, and it was just... Somehow you went from football talk to talking about the Wizard of Oz, talking about the Planet of the Apes. I think there was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory references in there from our good friend Ben.
Yeah, so...
what the fuck?
Yeah, that's my head. That's how my brain works sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We were talking about the lions, and then I started thinking about Wizard of Oz. So we went there, and I was saying that the lion from the Wizard of Oz is a bit of a fraud, but... Ben brought up Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because Grandpa Joe from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the all-time greatest fraud. The villain of that movie.
Sure, like, I'm not gonna.
The villain of that movie.
I'm not gonna argue with you because, as this is gonna be a shock to no one, guess what I haven't watched in my life.
So let me give you a synopsis of Grandpa Joe. In Charlie's house, they're dirt poor. Charlie has to go out and work, and his mum's absolutely slaving her dick off, working and cooking and keeping the house afloat. There's no dad around. But all four grandparents live in the kitchen in a bed together, and all they eat is cabbage. And they can't get up and go anywhere. They can't move. Poor old Charlie has to work his friggin' little fingers to the bone to support all four grandparents living in this bed. And then... this freaking guy, Charlie gets the golden ticket to go for a tour of the factory, the chocolate factory. Who takes him? Mum, who's been grinding away? Nah. Old Grandpa Joe all of a sudden can walk again. He gets up. He's like, I'll go with you. He's been sitting there doing fuck all for 20 years, just mooching off of a pension. And now Charlie gets a prize and he's like, I'm here. Let's go. And it's like, no, fuck off, Grandpa Joe. The fuck is wrong with you?
Sounds like a bit of a sleazeball.
Yeah.
Sounds like a little bit of a sleazeball. Now, I see someone lurking in the background there. Would that be one Becky Lynch?
That is the
that's hanging
man,
out?
Becky Lynch. After the promo she cut about Nia Jax getting fired last night on Raw.
You felt a certain kind of way, did you?
I love me some Becky.
Yeah, fair.
Also,
that's fair.
My wonderful partner... that's her favourite wrestler, so she's like, put her there. So I can't argue with that.
That's fair. I've changed my shirt in the background if you haven't noticed. I've got a Raptors jersey in the back. My Paramore shirt is on that side of the computer now. Off camera is my Gather Round jersey, but that's just chilling over there. You can't see it in the way this is cropped. But Raptors are hanging out now behind me. So you got Becky, I got Raptors. So we changed something this week for both of us. Should we do a question?
Let's do a question. Oh, yeah.
before we get into other things?
I have been trying to do a different Funko every week. So
I've noticed, but I looked at that and I was like, that's Becky Lynch back there.
yeah. So today's question is 126. 126. Down a bit further.
126.
Who is an ex-colleague from this job or another that you still think about?
Oh. Well,
I got a great one.
I'm still friends with some of my ex-colleagues from my last job, but I'm trying to think of something better than just being like, well, yeah, we're just friends. Who do I still think about?
I've got a great
one.
one.
You got one, so go for it.
So, at my job where I am now, I'm coming up to 10 years at the same job. So, I've been there forever. Feels like forever. I could have done a crime by now and got out of prison. But, so there was this guy when I first started. I first started in the factory, then I moved to the warehouse as a storeman, then I moved to an office, and now I'm sort of, whatever my job is now, is my job. And when I was in the warehouse, there was warehouse manager was this guy named Martin. And I don't think about him as in like, oh, he was such a good mentor. I wouldn't be here without. He was so freaking funny, but not in like a he'd talk to you and you would laugh at his anecdotes or anything like this. But everything he did was hilarious to me because he was such a contradiction to himself all the time. Like, he used to chuck sickies all the time, and it'd be like a week at a time that he'd have off. And it'd be like one day he loved his motorbike that he rode to work and his four-wheel drive that he had. And they were so reliable, they never broke down, except for every about 3 weeks when he was on Marion Road, had the exact same servo and broke down and couldn't come in that day. So it'd be like the same.
Right on.
And then there had been like, so 1 week he had off because he was stopped at the traffic lights on his way to work and a pigeon flew into his helmet and gave him a concussion. So he had a week off.
What the fuck?
And then there was another week where, so we had to unload like shipping containers. So it was 40 degrees and we had to get rid of the shipping container. So inside the shipping container, it was like 50 degrees. It was so hot. And me and another guy were unloading the shipping container. And it was so freaking hot. We were in there all day. We were sweating our asses off. Like, we didn't help ourselves because we were being dickheads in there. But he came out one time to look at it, put his head in there, and was like, oh, yeah, you're almost done. It's pretty good. And then walked inside, then had the next day off with heat stroke because he unloaded the container with us. I was like, did you?
This bitch.
This fucking guy. But I just, every time it comes up at work, I'm like, I just freaking laugh my head off because he was such a contradiction to himself. Like always saying how reliable he is and stuff like this, but he was just a joke.
One of those workers. Years ago when I was working at Woolworths, I was a Woolworths produce boy. I had, when you were like, for everyone that works in the retail world will kind of understand this, but I'll kind of explain it. Sometimes you would especially Woolworths, but a lot of places have they don't like letting the managers hang in a store for too long. Like they'll have 2-year contracts and then you get a new manager and so on and so forth. We were in between managers where we had a stand-in manager for I don't know how long it was. Let's say it was just for story's sake, it was 3 months. And this lady come in and she was from Queensland or something up that way of Australia. And she started every single day the same way. She would say the same conversation to you. She would walk up to you and she'd go, hi, how are you doing? You'd be like, good. And you'd be like, how are you doing? And she would go, pretty good for a Wednesday. Or if it was Thursday, she would say, for a Thursday. And she used to say in the same tone every single fucking day for the 3 or 4, however long she was there. I swear to God, every day I was there, she said, pretty good for a Saturday. And I'd be like, what does that even fucking mean? You hate every day then.
You should have hit her with the, well, I'm pretty good for a white guy.
Well, she was like, it was basically like every day. I swear, me and the other produce boys would just like almost bet on like, is this the day she's not going to say it? But she would say it the same way to every single worker in that fucking store, and it was ridiculous. So shout out to you, Pauline. I do think about you sometimes, because now sometimes I find myself going for a Wednesday, and it's just in my own brain. No one understands what I'm talking about unless you worked at Woolworths for that period of time. You get what's happening. But oh my God, it was the most ridiculous thing, and she used to just look at you right in the eye as she would say it. So I guess we both have two kind of weird, ridiculous people that we think about.
There was another one that we were talking about just today at work, and he was an older guy, but not as old as you'd think. So he was like, he would have been like early 60s when he was working there, which is still, it's not young.
It's old.
But there was older people working there that in a much better way than him. But he used to do the funniest things. Again, not in a tell you a funny story, but like he was so blind. He was just such a liability. Like,
oh no.
One day I took a piece of paper into his office to get him to sign it, and he signed the wrong piece of paper on his desk.
Good Lord.
Or one time he come and stood at the top of my desk where I was sitting behind my computer, looked over the top of it, and then said to the person next to me, "Oh, is Ray not in today?" And I was like, "Huh?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, he's right there." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here. I exist." I had like a full-on existential crisis. I'm like, "I'm real, I know." And then...
yeah, what the fuck?
I think the funniest one is, so we have a golf day, right? Every year for my work, we have golf day, which is a crazy day. I'm lucky enough to get invited to it because I've worked my way up to there. Not everyone does, but the first time I went there, so I was just cooking the barbecue. Now I've got myself to I can play golf instead of working.
Nice.
But so we were cooking the barbecue. Me and a guy named Matt and another guy that I work with. And then this guy, Lindsay, comes up to Matt, who he'd never met before. Well, maybe met once or twice. And goes, "Bloody hell, do you know when that fucking Matt's going to get here? Why is he running late?" And he's like, "What? That's me." He's like, "Oh, sorry."
What the fuck?
But then we were at the barbecue. People come up, like they're playing golf. They come around, give him like a sausage and bread with some onion, whatever. And he went to put some onion on this guy's sausage. And the guy held it out in his hand. And Lindsay put it right up his arm instead of onto the sausage.
Oh my God. This guy should, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he was a liability. His wife hated him. His wife would like purposely turn lights off around the house so he'd walk into shit.
Oh, that's fucking cooked. Oh, that's so cooked. Hell yeah. Yes. That's the kind of level I want to be at in life. It's just like when people are doing that to me. Holy shit. Well, there's some people that we remember from our former, or current lives. Yeah. But yeah, I guess the inevitable that we'll talk about, we don't really try and talk about too much wrestling on this show because we don't want this to be a wrestling show. Yeah. But today's a pretty fun day because for anyone that knows professional wrestling or just WWE related stuff, or is just from this country because you've probably seen it, they're coming here in February. Me and Ray officially got tickets today, so that's pretty neat. We're pretty excited. We're gonna probably have, we're gonna be, hopefully we'll meet in person before February. But for whatever reason we don't, we have to meet in February because we'll be sitting together to go to the Elimination Chamber. Yeah. So for podcast related things, we might try and bang out an episode. Well, that's a weird sentence to say, bang out an episode in a hotel room, but that's what we'll try and do in person. So that's pretty cool that we get to go to a wrestling show together.
Yeah, let's go watch some wrestling. Elimination Chamber is like one of my favorite pay-per-views as well. I love it so much.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, I love Elimination Chamber. It's going to be good. Tickets acquired. I have got a funny story about the tickets, so I'm an Optus customer, so the first part of my morning this morning was...
It's been a day for Optus customers here on this lovely Wednesday as we're recording.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because I was like, I've got to message Josh because tickets go on sale today, and I couldn't. So I had to like scam Nextdoor's Wi-Fi password off of them and then like message you and then quickly get off of it before anyone realized that I was on it. I was like just periodically, just quickly getting on there to see. And then my girlfriend went to try get the tickets she was working from home today, so she went to get the tickets, and then hers wasn't working, so I was like, I'll just quickly jump on my work computer and do it. And I didn't really read, I was just going through, clicking, got through the queue, and it was like, I just put 2 best available in reserve seating, and it was like $2,700 each. I was like, what the fuck?
Holy shit.
No, wait, go back.
If you would have done that and you just said, just give me the money back, but like, yeah, no worries. And then you would have told me how much. I'd be like, Ray, I can't give you that money.
I was like, go back. Shit. But no, we got...
Oh my God, you would have went into sheer panic too.
But no, it was all acquired, all good. Yeah, can't wait. February, bring it on.
Yeah, it's going to be hot as tits.
Yeah.
In Perth at 5:30 on a fucking Saturday night at the end of February. But I don't give a shit. I am just happy to be going. Ray basically messaged me today, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know, man. I got a lot to pay for it." And he's like, he was just like, "Let's just do it. We'll figure it out later." Yeah. I'm like, "That's what." So listen, it's surprising to me that honestly, as much how much Ray and I love wrestling and kind of are very, very into wrestling things and just wrestling in general. It's kind of crazy to me that we aren't doing a wrestling podcast, yeah. But here we are. But we are going to go to the Elimination Chamber. So if anyone's listening to this that's going to the Elimination Chamber, come say hello to us, yes. I guess. Well, maybe I am like, Ray's a bit more like, what's up?
Yeah, I'll say some pretty hectic stuff. Like, I'll give you my views on Grandpa Joe, that freeloading son of a bitch. But, yeah. And
it's pretty cool. I won't say too much else, but who knows what else will be happening Elimination Chamber weekend for us. So that's kind of fun. So, yeah, I'm just excited to be going and, we just love wrestling.
Yes,
we really do.
We really do.
We're going to have and we don't know when these stupid idiots are going to come back. So we're taking the opportunity. It was just a matter of, I couldn't give a shit if we were in the cheapest seats in the stadium, to be honest. But Ray's informed me that we got pretty good seats, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, we got pretty good seats. I chopped and changed a little bit, trying to get, some good ones, but I was surprised that the queue in the pre-sale wasn't as big as what I thought. So
probably because Optus was down. So
thank you, Optus.
For no one in there.
Yeah,
thanks, Optus. I'm not with Telstra, but I'm with a company that uses the Telstra network. So I'm with Belong. So I'm more than happy that that Optus was down.
Yeah, well, I was saying to my best friend works at my work as well. And I went next door and he was like, yeah, I'm on Optus too. I'm getting off of Optus. First it was the data breach and now it's this. I'm like, I'm staying on because everyone's going to get off. So I'll get like cheap data or fast.
Sure.
Everyone will be on a different one.
Fast, yeah. Yeah, exactly. It is interesting though with that kind of stuff. But I was going to say something and I can't remember what it was. Don't know. It was something related to chamber stuff, but I don't really know. It is kind of, weirdly enough, I was like, we got ages to like get this organized. I'm like, oh shit, it's 4 months away.
I know.
It's really not that far away.
It's not that far at all.
No.
But that's good.
Me and Ray have not organized flights. How good are we?
We can flap our wings. I was, I don't like buying tickets to stuff and it being like a year and a half away. And you just got to wait for it. So it's not bad.
We'll have a good time. I've never been to Perth, so
Perth's...
couple days in Perth. Yeah.
Perth's...
It is what it is.
Perth.
I'm just excited to see somewhere new.
Yeah. I've been to Perth a couple of times, but...
Ray's going to show me around and Ray's going to have to fly with me and I'm I'm a bit of a panicky flyer. It's a building that's been put on its side and somehow it has wings. I'm not into it.
I don't think I can show you around Perth. A few times I've been there is to see my ex-mother-in-law, so I don't think I'll be doing the same things.
Should we go and see her?
No.
What's up? What's up? Let's do that.
I would rather do anything else.
But yeah, we're very keen. It didn't kind of hit me until today because until you get the tickets, sometimes you just little realistic me. Sometimes like that shit just doesn't line up sometimes. But now that we got it, and once I get off this podcast and tell Ray, I'm like, can you please screenshot the ticket and send it to me so I can look at it?
Yeah.
Then I'll be like, oh shit, and then I get to go to my sister and my brother and be like, fucking suck it, you aren't going, I am. So yeah, we are gonna have a fun old time, and I'm sure you'll hear about it on this show between now and then because as it gets closer, we'll just talk about it more because we're excited and all of that kind of jizzy jazz. So hell yeah, if you're going to Chamber, come hit us up. We'll say hello.
Correct. I need to open the plates department again because something happened last night. It was me and Ben. This is the second time Ben's been brought up today.
Fucking Ben's bit Mr. Popular on this show, isn't he?
Yeah, Mr. Ben and me. So we played AFL 9s last night with the Nick Gills.
Oh,
And me and Ben were the first ones there because we came straight from work, and we obviously worked the closest because it was a 6 o'clock game in the city. So, now people, I don't dislike dog people, but there's a certain type of dog person that I don't like. So,
okay,
we're standing on this big oval. And let me clarify, it's dog people that don't have any control over their dog, but let them off the leash.
You were preaching to the right person here.
So we're standing on the oval, we're waiting for everyone else to come. All the fields are set up, and there's teams standing around the place. And me and Ben are just standing there having a chat, kicking the footy back and forth. And from over the other side of the oval comes sprinting this dog, and it's just off straight towards Ben, and it like grabs the ball from us and like runs off with it, and then the owner just sort of like walks on over. The dog like runs off to the other group of people, grabs their footy, runs off with that, and he like walks over to them, and it's like it just caused about half an hour of chaos, this dog. Well, maybe.
What breed of dog was it?
I'm not a big breed of dog guy. I think Ben said Alsatian.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Right on.
I don't really know.
Carry on with your
story. But it was like a medium-sized dog. It wasn't like a small dog, or it wasn't like a big dog, but it was like a medium-sized dog.
Okay.
And it was just harassing people. And this owner just kept on like walking around, trying to like walk after it. And he was like, oh, if I try to chase it, it'll just run further. And I'm like, well, don't let off the lead, you idiot. What is wrong with you?
No, You're preaching to the right person. I work in a vet clinic. I see a lot of people who don't know how to control their animals, put it that way. So, yeah, you're preaching to the right person. And I'm also a cat person, so put your dog on a lead and get it away from me. I like dogs, but I don't need it in my face. You know what I mean? So, you know.
Yeah, I'm not real fussed by animals at all. I don't, like...
I love them.
I've got kids. They're enough.
I don't.
I just...
I will have animals to the day I die. I've always been that. We always had pets as kids. I can't actually think of a time in my life where I lived in a house that I didn't have an animal in.
Yeah, right. The only animal I would get is if I had a backyard with grass and stuff, I might get like a sheep or a goat so it could just mow the lawn for me.
We had goats growing up. They were lesbians. That's not a joke. They genuinely were fat goats, and they would mount each other, and they were both girls. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was... I just feel like pets are way too much admin for me, and I don't think that I need a pet because I just don't have the...
But that's like responsible, because there's a lot of people that I see in a day that should not have a pet that do.
Yeah.
It's your choice to have a pet. It's not a right to have a pet.
No.
Some people shouldn't be able to have pets. I feel like you should have to go through some program to be able to get a pet, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that's a mature way of thinking. Is like, no, I don't think I could give the best life to this animal, because I don't care enough, and that's fine.
No.
So like, it's fine. Yeah. So, but I love animals. I love animals more than I like people. No offense. But I could live with a house of animals before I could live with a house of people or children. To be fair.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to be... So, as this comes out Friday, I'll be at a separate golf day. So I'm going to a charity golf day this week for work.
Oh, big shot, Ray. Jesus Christ.
So this one's a charity thing. I don't really know what it is, but work's sponsoring one of the holes, so they've given us a team in it. So it's like... So most golf days, right, that I've been to a couple now, where it's like... When I work at them, we've got to get there at like 8:30, set everything up, and then golf starts at around 10:30, 11 o'clock. They play till about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Then they have a few drinks, then go inside for dinner, and it gets messy because...
Gets a bit rowdy.
Yeah, well, people start drinking when they get there at 10 o'clock. And then it's like they drink all day because they've got carts going around with drinks on them. So they drink all day.
Dangerous.
And then they get to like 4 o'clock and then they go back to the club rooms. Have to wait like an hour and a half where people are just absolutely smacking drinks. And then it gets to dinner and everyone's like blind and it gets messy and bad stuff happens, right? Mm-hmm. And then even before that, people are really drunk before that. So they like destroy golf carts or they destroy golf courses because they just...
Oh, God.
So not lots of people do them. But this one that I'm going to on Friday, or today as you're hearing this, is it starts... We've got to get there at 7 a.m. And golf starts at 8 and then finish by 11:30 in for lunch, which is much better. Much better. Because we'll be finished by like 2 o'clock. Then it'll be off home. It's a Friday night. Everyone else has got stuff on. So it's like, I'm going to pack up early and go home and have a nice round of golf. It's going to be a nice morning. It's like 30 odd degrees on Friday. So
I was going to say, isn't it meant to be really hot on Friday?
yeah, it's up in the foothills though. So it'll be a bit cooler up there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's not so bad.
It'll be a really nice day, I reckon. So, yeah, looking forward to that. But some of the golf days, they get out of hand. I was speaking to... Yeah, when you work at it, right? So, the one that we put on, our company puts on, there's a hole where it's like, if you can get a hole in one, you get like $20,000 or something.
Sure.
But you can pay $5 for the club pro to take your shot. So all of the money goes to charity. So if you give the pro $5, he'll take your shot. So that's where the barbecue's set up. So you end up just speaking to the club pro all day. And he's like, oh, if your boss didn't give us so much money in like sponsorship and stuff, we don't do golf days anymore because they're just so out of control and people get so rowdy. And like,
sounds wild.
Yeah, like there was one he was telling me about that this company had topless waitresses on all of the holes, and it just ended up turning into like people paying them for sex in the bushes. And it just like escalated, and then it was like,
whoa.
Yeah,
that's not what I was expecting you to say.
Yeah, I don't know what company or who did that, but he was like, so we stopped it. There was like people tearing up whatever. One guy drove around a corner in his golf buggy, really drunk, and like lifted up 2 wheels and smashed the roof off into a shed. If he had it was so bad.
Oh my God.
Then I also heard of one, because we've got a store in Queensland. The guys went to one up there and they were in far north Queensland, and these guys accidentally drove off the edge of a bridge into a creek, like a river, and their cart was going down, and they were like fiddling around trying to find their phone and wallet and stuff like that. And the course pro's like, dude, there's crocodiles in there, get out. And they're like, no, we need our phones and wallets. And he's like, there's crocodiles in there. Get out. What are you doing?
God. What the fuck? That's wild.
But, yeah.
The fuck?
Oh.
People are cooked.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this Friday, though. This one's for charity. It's not just like a company trying to, like, show off. That's what most of them are. So this one's like a charity thing, so it might be a little bit different.
Hell yeah.
One of the guys...
Good for you. Have fun.
Yeah. So I'm going with the boss's 2 sons and me, and then another guy who works in my office, but he's never played golf before. And so he was like, oh, maybe I won't come because... And my boss's son was like, nah, it's more about networking. Come along. It doesn't matter if you're not, like, good. We're not there to win. We're just there to have fun, network, whatever. And he hung up the phone. I'm like, no, we're there to win. We better win.
It's so you're doing that on Friday. Well, today, I guess you could say, if we're talking in podcast listening world. So tomorrow in podcast listening world, Saturday, I said about my staff show, we're doing an escape room.
Yeah.
But I think there's like 16 of us going. We're breaking into groups to do the different escape rooms, and who can get out the fastest wins.
Yeah, right.
And you get free drinks for a little bit so from the bosses to pay for. So that's kind of fun. So and we're not picking teams, that like we're going in as a group and then allowing the like escape room attendant, whatever you want to call them, to just separate us into teams.
Yeah, right.
So we can't like have bias of like, oh, I want that person because I know that I'll work well with that person. I'm a competitive son of a bitch. So like whoever's on my team, I've warned everyone at work. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm not here to have a good time. I'm here to win.
Have you done escape rooms before?
I've done a couple. I've never escaped.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I get very frustrated about it. I always get to like the last thing before getting out, and I just get really angry. So yeah, it's going to be a good time. So we're doing escape rooms, then like a dinner, and then the younger ones, if you want to call me that, but the younger ones of the group are going to the woolshed and possibly dog and duck. So we're gonna have a grand old time. I'm gonna be like hammered because work are supplying a lot of the beverages for dinner and stuff like that. So do you think I'm going to utilize the fact that I don't have to pay for drinks? Yes, of course I am. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
Especially as someone who doesn't drink very often. My lord, am I going to I'm going to use and abuse that. It's going to be a good time. So and then I got a hotel room and everything like that, so I can just crash and then stumble my way back hungover, drive the way home on a Sunday. So that'd be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, it should be a good time being in Adelaide. So again, if anyone's around, come and say hello because I'll be wasted. Wasted.
I'm thinking about going to the AFLW finals during the day. That day. And then I don't know. I've got
come for a stumble to the city.
I've got a dinner afterwards at 6, so probably want to go out after that. I'm too old for that, you know.
Come on, come see me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Do it for the clout. Come on.
For the clout.
Yeah, the clout. We could get a photo together and be like, "Oh my god, guys, we met." Something to talk about on fucking next week's episode.
But
there you go.
If we get a photo together, we have to put the line down the middle of the screen, like what is on there. I'm trying to point to it, but I can't point.
Exactly. We have to. We're in a room, but are we?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that should be fun. Also, I don't know if you care about this, but I do, and it's on my mind. It's not official, but it's nearly official. GTA 6 is apparently getting announced this week. So it's officially getting announced. I don't know if you care about video games, but I care about video games and I care about Grand Theft Auto. That thing's been obviously rumored for so long because it's probably, I guess Grand Theft Auto is like one of the biggest video game franchises ever. Which is wild to say. But yeah, GTA 6, even probably by the time that this comes out, it might have already been announced officially. And a trailer is meant to drop in December. So I'm a bit of a video game hoe bag. Like, I love video games, especially ones like that open world kind of bullshit. So hell yeah, I'm really excited to see GTA because, my God, what a time I have with those games.
Yeah, I don't hate video games. I wish I had more time for them. I don't get to a lot of time with them, but
they're very good for my brain. They kind of allow me to focus, which I have a real bad time with. And I kind of can just get lost in a video game because it's like I just have one objective. So like kind of I can block out the rest of the world, and it allows me to just. It's honestly the only time where my brain, it's not completely shut off, obviously, because I'm thinking about what I'm doing, but just shut off from multiple things going on at once. Because leading into this, I'm not going to dwell on this for too long, but like officially, as according to my psychiatrist, who I've been seeing for a long time, well, not a long time, a fair bit of time, I officially have been diagnosed with ADHD. So that's kind of wild.
yeah.
Bit weird. I thought all of a sudden, that was like 4 weeks ago nearly. And I was like, oh, cool. So now I know what it is. And, you know, a lot of adults don't get it. You get it diagnosed as a child because I didn't have help as a child. It's kind of like the percentage gets lower of what adults kind of carry it from childhood and all that bullshit. But yes, I've got it as an adult. It's kind of wild, though. I was like, oh, cool. So I have ADHD. My life is just good now because I know what I got.
Yeah.
It's not really the case. Now I'm like, oh, shit. Now I got to actually work on it and get medicated and stuff and all that, getting all that kind of right. So, yeah, I'm an ADHD boy now, which is, weirdly enough, put a lot of things into perspective. I'm like, oh, so that's why I can't do certain things. And that's why I start 6 jobs and don't finish any of them.
Yeah.
And that's why my mind constantly just goes at 110 miles an hour, and why I'm so anxious and blah, 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 blah. I won't get into all the nitty gritty of it, but yeah. So I even said like something like that. I'm like, what is good? She's like, what can you focus on where you just doing? I'm like, video games. She's like, do more of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, really? She's like, it allows your brain to kind of like just, it's something to do with like the front fucking part of your brain doesn't communicate with the back. I don't know the technical terms of it. I don't really care to know.
I think front fucking is actually the medical term for
it. That's what her words, not mine. No, but it's just like the front part of your brain can't communicate to the back part of your brain. So then it just gets jumbled, and you're thinking, instead of your brain just like being in sections, it's just all like, it's all just cooked. So yeah, video games is one of the, other than like driving, I'm like a tunnel vision driver. Like people are always like, I seen you and I waved to you when you were driving. I'm like, I didn't see you. All I'm focused on is the road, which is, I mean, a good thing that I'm focused on driving. At least I'm not a space cadet when I drive. But yeah, video games and driving is really the only time where I'm just like, this is my task. And my brain just thinks about that instead of thinking about 60 things at once.
That's funny because when I like to play video games if I'm like, if I've got 100 things going on and it's all getting a bit much, I'll play video games because I don't have to think about it, and I can just, I don't concentrate, I don't focus, I don't do any of that. I just put it on because it's a little bit mind numbing, if you know what I mean.
No, I get that, because there's certain games that I play for that reason that are just like, I have to think about this.
No.
I'm just, you know, exploring on this video game.
Yeah.
And then there's some that I require that I'm like, no, this is the attention that I've got to put on to allow my brain to shut off from the other stuff. So video games, when people are like, video games, you have something better to do, I'm like, bitch, it's fucking, my psychiatrist said I should play video games.
This is medically prescribed.
Suck an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like fucking like a prescription medication for me. So yeah, video games, I won't say video games are saving my life, but my God, when I'm feeling super anxious and when I can't think, I'm playing NBA 2K from now on. That's how I'm looking at it.
I love NBA 2K so much.
Me too.
Are you a my career or my team guy?
My career all the way.
Okay.
Josh Robinson is the greatest fucking player in the world.
Is he?
Oh, he's so good. He's just top tier at the moment.
Okay.
GOAT status.
Yeah.
I put a lot of hours into that game in the last like 4 weeks. It's been ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I go through like periods of like either my career or then my team because I like opening the backs of cards. That's fun to me. So
it's fun. It's fun stuff. So yeah. Anyway, ADHD, whatever. I don't really. It's not like. I don't know. I don't really know how to think about it. It's just like, oh, cool. I've got somewhat of an answer of why I'm a bit cooked sometimes, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, and my psychiatrist's like, it's okay to be open about it. I'm like, is it? I don't know. I feel a bit weird about it, but like, because I don't want to be that person that's like, I got ADHD. Look at me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person, but also I'm like, well, when people are like, you're a bit weird today, I'm like, yeah, it's just flaring up. Like I'm very fidgety. I move around a lot. Like I can't sit still a lot. When I'm really agitated, like that's when I'm like squeezing shit and just like clicking pens and like just constantly rearranging shit. I was like, oh, I'm just OCD, and they're like, she's like, nah, it's just there's many different strains of different stuff. She's really cool though. She's only a little bit older than me. Like she's only a couple years older than me, so she's a bit like. She's very chill, my psychiatrist. I'm not gonna like name her on here, but like she's good. Mainly because then if she gets popular, I can't see her enough, and I need to see her. But yeah, she's a good time. She just kind of understands a little bit more about like I don't know, like this generation's trouble. Not to be that person, but there is a difference sometimes. Sometimes when you're talking with like a 50-year-old man, you're like, you're not gonna really understand what I'm complaining about here.
Correct.
And she just kind of she's really good with being like what I like about her is that she doesn't feel like a psychiatrist, you know what I mean? She's just like, let's just chit chat. She'll just, how was your day? And then all of a sudden you're talking about stuff that happened to you when you were 6 and you're like, oh, you're really good at your job. Holy shit. And you're like, yeah. And it, not that this, you know, really means anything to you, Ray, but her little brother is gay. So sometimes when I say those kind of struggles, she understands a little bit easier than someone who isn't around that. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of easier for me to say that. Not that it's all that, but there's certainly some of my issues that stem from that. But yeah, so she's just cool. She's just like, it's just like, oh, I get to talk to her for an hour and a half today. Cool.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as long as you can find the right one, I think there's a real difference. I think people could have a bad experience at the start and then not trust the process anymore. And
it's not cheap either, you know what I mean? Like I get, you know, obviously in this country we're pretty lucky. We get some, what's the word? Subsidized. Subsidized. But it's not like it's free.
No, definitely not.
It's not free. And I had to make the decision to be like, is this the money I want to be spending on it? I'm like, yeah, I guess so. It helps me a lot. And hopefully I can cut down with the amount that I have to see her. And I want to become that bitch that's reliant on medication. But I'm not afraid to say that I'm medicated because I don't know. There's a stigma around that shit, especially with dudes, man. Dudes hate talking about this shit.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't know. There's no weakness in that bullshit, I don't think.
No.
Well, at least in my opinion.
I don't think so at all. I don't do it purely because I've found that I work better without it, and I've found ways to feel my best without that. I've tried it before.
Yeah.
I've tried everything before, but I've found I think the key is finding what works for you, obviously.
Yep.
And if it's a psychologist that fits you perfectly, then that's going to be the best way. But if it's, you know, anyway else, if it's playing video games, if it's you know, going for a run or a walk or a...
Yeah, just do what you need to do, you know what I mean?
Unless it's heroin,
to get yourself
don't
through.
do that. But
I wouldn't suggest heroin, personally, but... You know, I guess
journal. I like journaling. That's what
do what you got to do.
So.
Yeah, no, and do what you got to do. It's different for everybody, and speaking with someone is not going to be for everybody. But it helps me, and that's where I'm at the moment. And who knows what will come up out of that? But yeah, it's like, I don't know, as weird and boring and corny as it is to say, like, it's all right to not be all right. So, like, just do what you need to do and get yourself through. And that's how I'm doing it, and it's helping me. And some days are fucking terrible, and other days are awesome. So that's fun. But yeah, anyway, I put something out on TikTok the other day, and I was like, I better mention that on the podcast because I can go into it a little bit easier than, you know, a 1 minute TikTok. But yeah, anyway, ADHD boy,
I don't think we have to
Let's
call
go,
you
I
that.
guess.
I mean,
Should I put that in my like Tinder bio?
if you want, I don't know. Is that desirable? I don't know. Maybe.
Is it? Hey, some people would be like, I can fix him.
Oh, isn't that the most disgusting thing to think about someone? I was literally having this conversation yesterday of like, why does everyone need a damsel or need to be the damsel being
Yeah, I don't need a
saved?
hero.
No, definitely not. I don't want to be a hero
I'm quite
either.
fine. Like, I don't need you to come and sweep me off my feet and save me from my awful life. I'm like, no, I'm quite fine in my life. You can come hang out in it, but I'm not Rapunzel. I don't need to be saved from a tower.
No, exactly right. And I don't want to save someone from a tower either.
No, neither do I. I'm like, fix your own fucking problems.
Exactly. So I don't know. I don't get that. I was having that conversation yesterday. I'm like, who wants to save someone? Like,
No.
it's just.
But there's a lot of people that are very into that. Like, I can fix their problems. I can be this. I'm like, go away from me.
Yeah.
I'm quite fine. Like, I'm an adult. I'm a big boy.
Yeah.
Fix my own problems.
Exactly. I don't. Yeah. I like having someone around, but I don't need someone to save me.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. No.
And I don't need to save them either.
But people are into it. People are into it though.
Well,
People are. That's their thing. Some people's thing is just like, nah, they're crazy. I'll fix them up. It's like,
no. If they're crazy, they're crazy. Like,
exactly.
yeah. I don't. You
know.
can see it in some
People are
people's
cooked, man.
eyes, man. You can see it in some people's eyes, and you're like, nope, not for me.
No, I like just nice, sane people personally. I'm not into the whole crazy thing. And crazy girls versus crazy boys is two very different things.
Oh yeah, crazy girls will cut you.
Yes.
They'll slash your tires, ruin your credit score, and
Crazy men will murder you, though.
no, I actually heard a story this morning because Optus was out. Thanks a lot, Optus, jerk.
Fuck you, Optus. That might be the title of this fucking podcast.
It might catch on because a lot of people will be typing that right now. But I had to listen to the radio, which I love the radio, but it's got ads and stuff. But they were talking about a Chicago man got the perfect vengeance on his ex-wife because just before they separated, he bought a car in her name and parked it at the airport and then she racked up $100,000 worth of parking fines.
Oh my God, that's insane.
She's fought it in court, and she's only having to pay like $4,000 off or something.
Holy shit.
He bought like a
That is wild.
$600 car and then parked it at the airport in her name, just banking parking fines. It's good
Wow,
stuff.
I don't know whether I'm like, that is awful, or I'm like, that's fucking baller.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, what did that person have to do
Yeah.
to deserve that? You know what I mean? Like, so, I don't know, man, but that's pretty cooked.
Yes. So
The fucking radio. Ugh.
I know.
I haven't listened to the radio in years.
I love radio.
As someone who wants to work in radio, I shouldn't say that I don't listen to the radio, but like I don't.
Yeah, it's more digital now, isn't it? It's like you can listen to stuff, music, and you can get your radio shows, your talk breaks all in one place and then listen to music all without ads. And I'm down for that.
Yeah, it's just podcast. I guess a podcast is an extension of radio, really, but just in a direct format of like stream when you want it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I guess they're still technically live podcasts, but
Yeah.
it I don't know. Even me though, the way I consume thing, it's usually not when I'm told to consume it,
Yeah.
unless it's sport. I don't watch shit whenever when it's on television. I just watch it later.
Correct. Yeah, on demand.
I don't want ads.
Like my
Mainly.
my son would never understand waiting for your favorite show to come on.
Even I do to a certain degree as a little bit younger, but I honestly, unless it's sport or wrestling, I don't watch stuff live.
No.
I just don't see the need to. Wait till it's all aired and then I binge it.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. Like back in the day, when the OC new episodes were coming out, we had to wait for Monday at 8:30 to watch it.
Yep.
And it was only 40 minutes, but we had to wait an hour and 10 minutes because we had to watch 30 minutes of ads through it.
Yeah. Ads are brutal, man. They are brutal. And they're always so loud.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're always so much louder than the show. It's like, oh my God, like this is so irritating. I've been binging Modern Family, and like I was just, I don't know if I was at my sister's or my mum's house, and mum has Foxtel, and I was just, dialing along. I'm like, oh, Modern Family's on. I'm binging it, or like looked at the episode, and I'm like, oh, it's one I've already watched. I'll watch it here. You know what I mean? So here I am watching it. I'm like, holy shit, ads are on like every few minutes. How the fuck do you watch this and like keep up with what's happening in the episode? I'd forget what's happening by the time it comes back from the ad break. I'm like, why would I want to waste 30 minutes watching a show when I can watch it in 21 on Netflix or whatever? Oh, video hits, baby. But even like having like streaming on Spotify versus a CD is different. You have to skip to your track or find the CD, hope it's not scratched, and then you know what I mean. Like you have playlists that can have literally an infinity amount of songs. Where you had 12 songs on a CD and you have to like burn it from iTunes and like download it from LimeWire. Like holy shit, it was a wild time when you think about it. Like I had a Walkman or a Discman, I should say, and like having that versus having literally this where I can just have every song ever just in the palm of my hands. Hmm. Sure. Oh, a tune. I need to hang out with your. Whoa, wait. I need to hang out with your son, but not like you know what I mean. It sounds like a good time. Awesome. How does he know that song? It's not like it's relevant. Like it's not like it's relevant. What a song, though. By the way, I mean it's not the worst song that you could know. I guess he could know worse. Who isn't? Honestly, what a little lad. That's awesome. What a song. I've been actually vibing a lot of '90s music lately. I just been on a '90s. Just I don't know. Just been in '90s mode. I don't know. As a child of the '90s, I guess it's normal, but like it's not like I was listening to fucking Nirvana at 2 years old in when I so like I just been on a '90s like a lot of like '90s like rap and like grunge. Like I've been listening to so much random just '90s music, and like the other day I just found myself, I was like, I'm just gonna hang out, listen to some music, and I just listened to fucking Alanis Morissette for like an hour. Um, oh my God, hand in my pocket like changed me. Not Yeah, you brought up Silverchair before because you brought up his book. Podcast, I should say. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm oblivious to Silverchair music, but it wasn't ever like, even thinking back, it wasn't ever something I was like, hell yeah, Silverchair. Probably would be. Oh, I know what that is. Trust me, I know what that is. Mm.
because we didn't know what pure massacre meant. And it was basically us talking about, killing a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, as you do as a child.
But we didn't realise, so it was innocent.
No,
for us.
it's innocent.
Yeah.
It's innocent. It's innocent. But yeah, like I don't know why I'm in this zone. My younger sister listens to a lot of like Nirvana, Pearl Jam. That's her kind of like vibe of music. A lot of that kind of stuff. And I was always just like, this is fine. But yeah, I'm just in that zone. I was like fucking listening to Salt and Pepper the other night. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like, I'm just like having a good old time listening to a bunch of 90s and like No Doubt, like early No Doubt. And like, I really don't know why. But yeah, I'm just in a 90s spin. Sometimes I get into I love 80s music as well. Like as I've said many times on here, and just if you know me, I'm a music junkie. Like I just love music. I just love all kinds of music. But yeah, I'm just on a 90s spin. But I was just like listening to like Ironic and then Hand in My Pocket, and I was just like, what's going on here with me right now?
Yeah, I love Alanis. I might listen
who
to
doesn't?
some of that tomorrow. Now that Optus is back working, fuck Optus.
Oh, it is back working though?
Yeah, it's back working.
When did it come back on?
About 2:00, 2:30.
Oh, okay. That's a long time to go without
I was shaking in the
data
corner.
and
Yeah.
just like pulling out your hair. Like, just like, where's my data? What a day to do it though. Because you messaged me early this morning. Not early, actually. Well, it was like it wasn't late, but it was mid. Yeah, I was at work too. And you were just like, blah, 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 let's get tickets. And I was like, cool. And then it just went radio silent from you. And I was like, is he like can't face up to tell me that he couldn't get tickets and he's like scared of disappointing? I'm like, what's going on here? But then I was like, because obviously I work where I work and I'm at the front desk a lot. And we were getting emails all day because people were like, I can't get through because I'm with Optus. And I'm like, that sounds like a you problem, mate.
Correct.
Like, that's not a me problem. No. But we're getting a lot of that all day. And then it kind of clicked on me. I'm like, I think Ray might be with Optus because he would be filling me in on what's the go down is otherwise.
Yeah, freaking Optus. Anyway.
I know what we're calling this episode, and it's going to be the Optus was down or something like that.
Optus down.
Optus down, we up. Oh, look at that. Yeah, craziness, crazy time. I'm glad we got through this whole episode without commenting on how both of us are tired from work.
Yeah.
But I am.
I'm
just
overworked
to throw that out there.
I'm just looking to get through tomorrow so I can get to golf day.
I got a week, my guy, and then I'm off for 2.5 weeks. So
I'm jealous.
Oh, but you know that stretch when you're like, it's within your sight.
Yeah.
I can see my holidays just approaching, and it's dragging.
Yeah.
It is dragging.
But at least next week, the first half of the week will fly because everyone's just going to be reminiscing about the Christmas party on the weekend.
That's true. And I'm only there to Wednesday. My last day is Wednesday, and then I'm off for 2.5 weeks from Wednesday at 5 p.m. I'm running out. I'll be like, bye. See you later.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm out of here. But yeah, Monday will be a fun day because if I drink enough, I'll probably still be hungover.
Yeah, exactly. So.
It's going to be interesting.
All right.
Hope I don't do anything I regret at a staff show. It's never a good look.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to be that guy at a staff show that's just gone a little too far.
Maybe next week we can talk staff shows because there's some things about
Peter.
my staff shows. Yeah, definitely. He'll have some good ones, I reckon.
We'll get Peter on next week, guys, from the Crojet because he's a good time. I'm sure he would have plenty of stories to add to that.
Yeah, definitely. So, socials. At Apples Oranges Pod. Follow them. Tell your friends about them. Watch the YouTube version. Listen to the podcast version. Tell your friends about them. And tell your mum and dad as well. Also, brothers and sisters. It doesn't have to just be friends.
Uncles, aunts.
Yeah.
Your cousins.
Correct.
Your dog.
Download it onto your grandma's iPod. I don't care.
She'll love it.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like grandmas would love us.
Yeah, I reckon. Surely. Except if it's Grandpa Joe. Don't tell Grandpa Joe. The guy's a joke.
Yeah, fuck Grandpa Joe. Fuck him.
All right.
Sick.
See you.
Bye.